Diana Kipyokei and Betsy Lempus were both provisionally suspended. Kipyokei is getting the most attention because she was the 2021 Boston Marathon champion. That was in the fall, so about a year ago. She won that race, finished ahead of Edna Kipyokei. They both tested positive for something called triamcinolone, right, which is banned in competition. There's also stuff relating to, if you look at, we'll throw up the actual document here from AIU. Kipyokei also is facing a charge related to tampering or attempted tampering with a part of the doping control process. Obviously, it's been a year, so I'm assuming there's been documents that have gone back and forth in terms of trying to figure out, like trying to get to the bottom of the actual positive test. As we've seen time and time again, the AAU has a way of figuring out if the information you're giving them is not accurate, and sometimes that creates another case, right? Then it's not just about the positive test. It's more about lying or misrepresenting, or in their words, tampering or attempted tampering with the process when you're giving your reasoning for why that substance was in your system. But this is a big story. Also, like this substance has triggered a lot of positives in the same document. So there were a number of them coming from Kenya. So Boston-wise, though, they said, pending appeals, like once Kipyokei exhausts the appeals, then they would strip the title from her.
It's kind of wild that it takes this long for this to come out. It literally took over a year. Its sample was collected October 11th, 2021. It's October 14th, 2022, and now we find out. There's got to be a better way to solve this issue where people can go like a year or two, and I understand everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but can't they just say, hey, we tested it, a week later, hey, it's positive, now they're in the process of trying to figure it out? Why does it have to be a secret for a whole year before the public can find out?
Well, the public has waited, but judging by the fact that Kipyokei hasn't run since that race. So I'm assuming, right? And we've seen this before.
Putting a halt on her.
Hey, because it says provisional suspension. Well, then it's basically like a provisional suspension of, we're going to let you make your case to try to see if you're innocent. Because I'm sure there's some percentage, I don't know how large it is, but I'm sure there's some percentage of things that actually get solved during this period. Oh, okay, yeah, they provided the correct documentation. There's a TUE.
How much would you pay to find out about all of the solved doping cases that never got out?
I think some of those are going to be more boring than you'd actually expect, because some of these things, if you have a therapeutic use exemption, you're good to go, right? It's like, oh, here's the document, this was given, or this is the substance that was in my system. This is different, right? It's in competition test that she took in Boston, and it's banned in competition, so a little bit more boom, boom. Yeah, you'd think, all right, well, a month later. But I think this is where the AIU, I think, in a way, gets blamed for taking a long time when they are trying to do due diligence, or they are going to give they are trying to provide ample opportunities. And anytime, representatives or lawyers and stuff get involved, it's like, okay, well, you have this many days to produce proof of this. Okay, you get it, and then it takes time to review it, and they're probably checking out, right, all the situation. Remember the Wilson Kipsang thing where there was a car accident that didn't happen, right? That probably takes a little while to investigate with that. What's interesting, though, on the 2021 Boston Marathon side of things, Edna Kipyokei got second in that race.
She was 41?
41 years old. If she is named the champion, she'd be the oldest women's champion.
What was in
the history of the race?
Do you know the oldest before that?
I don't know, but
first 40-year-old probably?
Well, and for Kipyokei, her career is nuts. The amount of wins, if you pull up Edna Kipyokei's bio, it's just crazy in terms of her longevity in the sport. So you're just imagining what that race would have been like if she were to have won that race. It would have been
a much bigger moment.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been a huge moment, because it would have been someone who's just been around forever, once again, somehow pulling off another crazy marathon performance. So we'll keep an eye on the story, I guess, moving forward.